Hello and welcome everybody. We are back again for some more Dungeon World Indigo Magic. Hi, I am Lucas of Lucasgvariety and I'm back with my friends here to play the great game of Dungeon World by Adam Koebel and Sage LaTorra. We're back for our episode number 10. Oh yeah, we are rounding the corner on the home stretch. We are looking in the 3 to 4 session range. We are coming through. We'll see what happens tonight. Tonight we're going to have some action, some truth bombs, and all kinds of weird improv that we make up because we can't plan for anything. So, without further delay, it is October the 13th, 2020, on a Tuesday night. And Ralph McLeod's going to give us a recap for our last session while I get my poop in the group over here and get ready to throw down some bad on you guys. So I'll just turn it over to Ralph right now. And
It's
I'll shut up.
Spooktober, y'all. So
Febtober!
Yeah, Spooktober. Well, where to start? Well, we finished up resting up at Cecil's place and relaxing. There was some fiddling with the big shiny rainbow orb of death that I have absolutely no desire to be around whatsoever because it does wibbly wobbly interplanar things. Ralph don't like it. but you know, Benny just couldn't stay away, and we found the vault open and his violin and violin bow on the ground in the same room with the big magic indigo orb of what's it?
Death.
So yeah, I give it about a 60-30 that he's just been interplanared for a little while, or you know, disintegrated. So, but Alavara was very concerned and even confirmed with death to make sure that Betty hadn't done a round trip. So that was interesting. But after all that, we packed up the tavern and we made our way over to the city of Hammerfell.
Yeah, Hammerfell Fortress, base of the mountains. I had to remember it too.
Yeah, so, and, well, it's built in a mountain, folks. It's very tall, so I got a little creative and made a fun invention, a zip line that allows you to zip up the line. And it went well-ish. Hey, give me a break. Prototyping's hard. But we zipped up to try to land at either Zorm's summer home or the home of the Lord. And this is mainly because, well, Hammerfell, it kind of got overrun. It's under new management. Triborgs running around. Everyone looks horribly sick. Like, I'm getting like Warcraft 3 vibes and expected all these guys to suddenly turn into undead. Just
I mean, they're pretty close already.
I mean, means
That one mansion is a haunt.
But we zipped up. Unfortunately, our friendly Wizard Zorm apparently misheard the instructions to yank the ripcord to drop, and instead went splat against the mountain that we anchored to. I landed okay-ish, just between the two structures. Alavara landed
On
decently.
top of somebody.
Yeah, landed on top of somebody. And then Cecil landed in a bush. And that's before the entire apparatus decided to snap and whee! So we're stuck here. But there was commotion. We decided to try to nose into this building, which I think was the Lord's Manor, or is this? I think this one's the Lord's Manor, right?
You're in front of you're in front of
we
Lord.
were going to Lord Roland's tower, yeah.
Yep, you're in front of his manor right now.
Or man.
Yeah, and well.
Oops.
Well, some of the locals took a lot of interest in Alavara, probably because she landed on one. But they're very, very sick. And then they got interested in me because I left the circle of darkness out of our castle to try to avoid harming more people. And so a ruckus was set, and now we have a giant mech spider that has popped out of this building, which apparently is also a haunt.
And said mech spider is hyper focused on Alavara currently because of a couple of my rolls last week.
And it's also got your husband's face on it.
Oh yeah, it did that. Which yeah.
So
Yeah.
if it seemed like that was a lot right there at the end, because all of that happened right at the end in the last like 10 minutes of the show last week. So
Oh yeah, a couple things you did. Alavara was able to see that there are people trapped in the basement of the mansion.
Yep.
And oh no. And she's currently on because of a crit fail on a spellcasting roll.
Uh-oh.
This
Dori
Gonna
Arigato,
be
Mr.
fun.
Roboto.
Alavara, you cut out there a little bit. You're still cutting out. Your face is frozen in a perma smile.
It's
Yeah.
like
It's very
like shadow
nice.
puppets.
It's a very nice smile. She'll be back. Maybe.
It's what, like a rotograph or whatever the spinny animation wheel is.
She might have to. Well, I better pay attention in case she somehow drops out of the chat that I need to let her back in. Oh no, you're coming back.
Oh, yep, it's
She's back.
one frame at a time.
my connection showed stable time.
Well,
I will add to what Alavara was saying when she did her spell upon the house, which I believe is still going because you don't have to concentrate on it. You saw the people trapped at the bottom. The house itself is a haunt, and two great evils in the basement. One of which is this mechanical spider that came out, but that is not the greatest of the two evils in the house. So there's something even deadlier down in there, or worse, or whatever. Okay. Yes, and the spider opens up its faceplate, and it's wearing the face of Fane, Alavara's husband. But Cecil had a defense roll and jumped in front. As it struck at Alavara, its mandibles cut into Cecil instead and did some damage, and that's where we last left off. I think we covered just about everything. I think, right?
Mm-hmm. I think
Got everything I had in my notes.
So,
cool. So TLDR, folks, is everything is awful.
Everything is awful.
So Benny, you remember just being in the basement from the night before after playing a lot of violin the night before in Cecil's Manor over all those townsfolk in the last place you were in. Finally, you went down into the cellar just to get away from everybody. Your hands are hurting as you haven't played that much violin in a while, right? Even though your fingers are calloused from using a sword. And you found that the vault was open, and it seemed like it was beckoning you. You maybe heard whispers or voices or something, and you just kind of walked that way. And then you don't really remember anything else, and then you're kind of just in a world of white light. Like there's no ground, there's no sky. It's like being in the Matrix before they summon all the guns. It's all blank. And there you stand in your dark, shadowy form in a place of bright whiteness.
I feel I don't belong here.
You don't belong here. Why have you come? And
I was beckoned.
I am right behind you. And there's this huge dude in huge armor standing there, and he's got these gigantic white angel wings, and his eyes glow with this like piercing blue light. And he's like, you do not belong within the world of the gods. You are marked for death. You are marked by death. You should leave.
Point me to the nearest exit, and I will.
I wasn't expecting you to say that. He goes, you bring corruption here. Yeah.
I take it that is problematic.
You are within the essence of a god. One of the few that remains from the god wars over 1,500 years ago when they all destroyed each other. This is one of the surviving members. Hello, Tice. He's like, I am the archangel of this such god, Rudiger Hawk. You happens,
Neat.
I believe the god has beckoned you here, but he has not told of me. Unfortunately,
Well,
oh, go ahead, sorry.
apparently this is above your pay grade.
Apparently it is. All I know is you cannot leave without a mark or a sacrifice of some sort.
Mark.
Actually, I'm using my last. So, here's the new threat. Because I can. It's
Uh-oh.
like, you must sacrifice something you love in order to leave. You are marked of hatred, revenge, death, and corruption, and you bring it all here. Show me that you have humanity left within you. Show me you have something good, and you can be repurposed.
Very interesting. Something I love.
And as he's standing there, like the camera pans, and we see like Lucy in a chair, and she has your violin, and she's looking at you just like that coy smile that she did when she would sometimes grab your most beloved treasure. Other than her, it was the thing you treasured the most, and she would like take the bow and she would rap on it or try to play it, but she was, for all her loveliness, she was horrible with the violin in her hands. Tice the Betrayer.
3 200-bit donations, Tice. Really? Why do you
Oh,
hate
no.
us?
Because
Aw.
he's Tice the
Max
Betrayer.
over
What did we
Three.
ever
It's
do
a
to
max-
you?
Yeah, he
It's a
just,
max pool of 3.
He knows. He knows.
And he had to fill him.
He's been waiting.
He has been. And so she's sitting there and she's rapping on the violin horribly. And you see these things that you love. And Rudiger looks over at it and he's like, your thoughts betray you. Or your thoughts tell your heart. And then when he looks down at your sword too, he's like, perhaps there is something else.
Stab the god.
You mean for me to be rid of my Lucy? To let her go? The reason I chose this is that it?
I did not say Lucy. I only said something you love. And we see that Lucy is fading in the background. She's still playing your violin. She fades before it does, and then they're all together gone.
He reaches behind his long black coat and pulls out the white violin. Do you want this? Is this what you want?
I want nothing. I only do what I am bid to do. The choice is yours. You may stay.
Then tell your god he'll have to rip it from my hand.
Stab a god. Stab a god. Stab a god.
Goes, is your humanity gone? Is it completely dissolved? Can you not sacrifice what you love in order to save what is greater than you? I mean, he hasn't moved an inch, but he can tell it looks like he tenses just a little bit, but he hasn't moved a muscle otherwise.
I say again, if your god wishes this sacrifice, he will have to rip it from my hand.
He goes, I wasn't expecting that answer. That's not what he says. That's what Lucas says. And
That's how we get Betty
Whole
Duck.
bunch of surprises
AKA
right
Betty
now.
No Arms.
and we segue away from this awkward conversation. No.
AKA GM is so like, what the hell do I do with this?
What do I do now?
I mean, yeah, you can totally sacrifice Lucy or her sword. Oops, hold on 1 second. Okay.
Or, just kill a god. No big deal or nothing.
You know, that's not quite the battle I had in mind, but you know what? So be it.
War on the ground, war in the sky.
That's
I
right.
don't think the one he's facing now is the god. It sounds like he's a messenger.
The Avatar.
It's the Archangel. It's
Yep.
his Archangel.
Yeah.
I understood that, but he's
just
looking
the
at the Archangel and saying, "Tell your
That's fine.
god he can go take a long walk off a short pier." Basically,
You gave him the equivalent of, I want to speak with your manager.
Yeah.
Eddie Dot, the Karen of interdimensional speak.
I'm waiting for him to take it literally. It's like, okay, and he's going to cut your hand off.
I mean, so you have the sort of shadow, right?
Yeah, the Doom Blade, yeah.
He actually doesn't draw it. He just stands here. He's like, very well then, if we must. It is not the way. I wish to fight no, is he sorcerer? Dang it. The madman of my world, but until then. And he just holds out his hand, and this gigantic, like, two-handed sword appears in one hand, made entirely of flame. It's flame and shadow. Let's go Balrog here. Anyways, so he's just like, so be it. And he just suddenly just flies right at you with a blinding speed, and this flame sword coming right at you. What do you do? Aside from die.
Let's see. Let's see what I can do here. Other than get horribly, horribly squicked. He is going to defy danger by basically lifting up his sword and completely blocking the hit.
Ooh. That sounds like you're enduring, so that's going to be a plus con roll, me feels. Now, I will make sure.
Right,
I'll let you guys
actually-
remember that you have a +1 in the pool and a plus auto success as well.
Q. Go con.
Ole!
9. Ole!
All right. So, he's going to hit you with
stumble, hesitate, or flinch. Ugh.
he's going to hit you with a magnitude that you've never felt in your life. So, you can absorb all the damage yourself, or your sword can take the damage.
Let the sword take the damage. Especially since it's a supernatural thing anyway.
The sword is?
Yeah. It's made out of shadow and death.
So
Death bits.
so he hits you, and you go up to block.
Death bits.
You go up to block, and you hit, and it strikes, and his piercing blue eyes kind of like look amazed for a second, but the flame pushes through the shadow, and your sword just goes and evaporates in smoke as you're thrown back onto the ground here and float back up. But your sword is gone.
Just the handle, and he.
It's
Strange. That usually works.
You have a lot of power, but your power is corrupted. It will not do here. You will not corrupt one of the last living gods. If they are all destroyed, you have no hope. And then, so
we need this god.
existence depends upon it. So now he's like, but he hasn't really stopped. Like, you fell back and you're saying it as you get up. He waits patiently as you stand. And then he raises the sword again. And right at you. What do you do?
Let me see.
Maybe. This.
No sword.
And as he rushes at you the second
no
time.
sword.
Yeah.
Really?
As he rushes at you the second time, we cut back to the planet where our other three heroes are battling this gigantic metal spider. That'll give you a second to think, Benny. Also, me a second to think. Because I'm like, what the hell are we going to do? Improv of the magnitude of this. This is great. Tice, thank you for the donation. By the way, also, Jodo1025, thank you for the follow tonight, or the subscription. I appreciate it, everybody.
Stop giving good stuff to the players. I need to die.
Cecil has gone in
I
front
don't
of
think
Alan.
you're gonna be one to die tonight.
The spider comes.
I put our odds of all dying because all it takes is one of us to croak, and then it's all going to come down like a poorly built house of cards.
Well,
I
I'm
mean,
playing
Alavara
defense, and the
Doesn't have
attacker's
her
not here.
spells. And that's basically the only thing she's gonna see.
This face of your husband is just like, we will be reunited again, my lovely bride. And he's just like,
He got the one on coin.
Yep.
Punctuated by the coin.
bling.
Bling, one up.
She's still.
So like he stop halfway through the sentence and then just we hear the coin go in the slot.
He's like, the spider stops, like, wait a second, and he puts the coin back, inserts it into himself to keep going. Cha-ching. So the spider had just come down with these razor sharp mandibles to strike at Alavara, but hits Cecil instead, and it doesn't hold on to Cecil, it backs up. Cecil got a little bit of a wound there. I don't remember how much. It was pretty good though, I thought.
Yeah, it's 8 points.
And steps back, and then it looks at Alavara. It doesn't really seem to care about the other two, and because she did draw attention, that was part of the negative consequence, right? So it has only its 8 mechanical eyes for her. I only got eyes for you, baby. All 8 of them.
Can I analyze Dwemer, please?
So at the taunt, Alavara.
Yes, Ralph. But go ahead, Alavara. Ooh. Rolls a 9. Ask 2
I
questions.
was going to say,
You can.
at that taunt, Alavara reaches. She made some new purchases a while back, and she's going to grab a dagger and just fling it at this thing's face.
Okay. You can go ahead and do that while Ralph is asking me questions.
Volley?
Yeah, I think volley is what you need.
Yep.
That's what, Dex?
So
Plus dex.
so
Nice roll.
perfect strike. So I'm gonna.
Roll your damage. Okay.
So my first question is specifically is going to be, what does this do in terms of what is this thing armed with? kind of thing. Because it's obvious that what does it do? It moves around and kills people. But like more accurately is how does it do it?
Oh, how does it operate?
Or like
Function.
I'm essentially asking like what is its combat capabilities here? It's just because it's a weapon of some sort, obviously. I'm just asking like is it just a stabby thing or is this I'm trying to do this in the bounds of the questions that are supposed to be here, but
I mean, it is a terrifying construct that seems to be intelligent, obviously large, and I mean, not only can it move quick, but it can make a mess of things with its razor-sharp mandibles, but it really seems to only have the mandibles, other than maybe its legs, as far as weapons.
okay.
It's also heavily plated, as you can tell. I'll give you that one for free, because Alavara chucks this dagger, and it sticks right into the forehead of Fane's face, and it just sinks in, but actually it doesn't. It hits and it bounces right off.
Like that. Ding.
Ding.
Doing no damage to him at all.
Okay, the second question is a rework of the last one. Essentially, what is this thing's weak points here, as in terms of the machine here?
You're like, the underbelly, obviously, because it's so tall, would be exposed easier, so it's not a weak point there. The most likely, you'd have to find an access point or access panel if you want to get into the machine on the top of it, which would require you getting on top of it. Also, weak points would be to take the legs out so it couldn't move. But something else. By the way, Axe, you know that Fane's spirit is in Alavara's pocket, so to speak, or probably inside Cecil's tavern. And this thing is wearing Fane's face, at least maybe you figured it out, right? Because he's talking to her. You realize this thing has, much like probably your father, has no humanity. Like, it doesn't have a soul.
Oh, goody.
Well, that could be a weak point. If possibly it did have a soul, it might be different.
So I'm going to roll defend again, but I'm going to take that +10 so I can get a lot of hold on this thing.
So you're going to take the auto +10? Okay, so you guys have a +1 in the tank. Also, Cecil, Ralph, and Alavera all have +1s in the tank.
I didn't need to do that then, apparently. That was a really good roll.
Oh,
How'd you roll a 21?
because he put a +10.
He
Oh.
took the
Because
auto
he had the
10.
auto 10.
Okay, so that's not a boxcar roll or anything like that.
No,
so
no. It was
So
a
you-
6 and a 5.
You have 3 holds there.
Yep.
All right, so Ralph, you're getting this inside information. You step in for the defense. The dagger pings off, but there's no ill effect. Obviously, you guys didn't roll badly. Ralph, I don't think there's a consequence for your 9 that just tells you how many questions you get, right?
Yeah.
Ralph, do you say anything about that potential weakness?
About it not having a soul.
Yeah.
He's probably more focused on the machine aspect of it. Like, it's like, to him the soul part is notable, but he probably doesn't think it is as important. So he probably is more like, hit its legs and then I can probably get to the access port.
Why didn't you say something about the soul? I could do something about that.
Okay.
Probably
Again,
the only
again,
thing I
he-
can do at this
Soul,
point.
like, soul things are soul stuff is way outside of his wheelhouse, though.
Alavara,
He doesn't like.
So can
I, as a player, know it's important. He wouldn't know it's important.
she can
I
discern
want to try a
realities.
spout lure
Or
or discern realities. Either whichever you want.
All right, let me set the scene here. So the spider has set back. It sees Cecil in between you two, and it's
Shield
like
up.
it's like crawling on the house, like back and forth. And Cecil keeps getting between it. He's trying to find like an angle to strike past him, and so he hasn't struck yet. And he's just about to strike. Meanwhile, you still have 5 of these plagued that aren't dead yet, but really sickly citizens. Like
They're basically rotting.
Yep, and you have like a couple around you. They're kind of crawling in, and then Ralph has 2 around him. Cecil and Alavara have 3 around them.
Did I activate my armor last time?
I thought you said you did.
I'm pretty
think
sure
you-
I had.
Yeah, you did on the
the
zip line for your landing.
Yes.
Of this.
Yep. So
Otherwise,
you,
you'd have taken
I don't
damage.
see a reason why she would have let that. Yeah.
so you have it activated. That's fine. Why don't you discern realities before we jump back to
Lapse.
Benny here in a second? Because Benny gonna do
Yes.
something.
Betty
Discern-
God Killer.
Discern realities is in intelligence or
Wi-
wisdom.
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 Oh yes.
Remember, you have a +1. Never mind.
I don't need it.
Boxcars.
That's
Boxcars.
That is a boxcars roll, so that
Nice.
is going to get you a little extra. So you get to ask 3 questions from the list below, and then I will throw you whatever extra information I can.
Oh Lord. Let me pull up the book so I can see the questions.
Put them in the chat for you.
That would be great. Because yeah, those handouts still aren't there.
They are very broken.
There you go.
Excellent. Thank you for helping there.
Okay.
So you
Okay.
can ask
Don't
2
metagame. I
questions.
know that information out of character, but what here is not what it appears to be.
Are you focusing that towards the spider, right?
Oh yes, yes, that is my main focus.
It may wear Fane's face, but it is not Fane. It has no humanity. It tells you basically the same thing I was telling Ralph. It's definitely
Yeah.
not Fane. It's like RoboCop. It basically he has his face in there, and that's about it.
Right.
Throwback. All right.
Who's really in control?
Oh. That is an excellent question. It is Cecil. He's actually the main villain the whole time. Surprise! Actually, you're just like you're looking and you're discerning, and you just see this slight conduit of ley line energy between it and the other evil down in the basement. And you know it's some undead monstrosity, but it is what is giving the commands here.
All right.
Oh man.
Kind of assumed that, but it's good to have confirmation. And one more question.
And it's very undead. That's a little extra there. The monstrosity. Not the Fane spider thing, but the thing.
Not the
control.
abomination, the monstrosity.
Yes, there's 2 different things here that are nasty.
Yeah.
Not the thing, but the thing.
I had them written down as I think you described them last time. A dark being who is angry and an abomination. I was assuming this one's the abomination, the other one is the dark thing.
Yes, correct. Good.
And my third question, I'm gonna go with the always handy. What is useful or valuable to me here?
Useful or valuable. Okay, well, it would not be able to follow you inside the house very well. It also only has eyes for you, if that matters.
Yeah.
And if other than dismantling it, if you have the idea if like you put a soul in there, whether it's Fane's soul or something else, it would probably
Yeah.
really mess it up
I had that thought.
or change its way of doing things. So, yes. And I'm trying to think. That was pretty good answers to your questions. I'm trying to think if there's anything extra that I should give you, or because that was what is not what it appears to be. Oh, yeah. But going inside the house obviously is a full-on haunt.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'll give you something else.
Oh,
Oh, go ahead.
yep. Well, I had a question because the way her powers work. I know because of my crit fail last week that I have no access to casting spells at the moment, but is that just spells or is that like all of my abilities?
No. I think you still have the spells you have. I think I just axed whatever spell you had going. You can still cast spells if you have soul.
You specifically stated it was a crit fail. It was double ones on a spellcasting check. I have it specifically written down that I'm unable to cast spells for the time being.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, that's a good sport, old chap. Thank you.
So is that just like the soul magic? So just my spells, but I could still do my other, basically my soul moves
Yes.
that are just soul, not casting spells. Okay.
I would say that.
All right.
I don't want to totally nerf you.
No, it's fine. I mean, this isn't undead I'm facing right now, so I'm pretty nerfed anyway. But yeah, okay.
And then the last thing for your bonus is you can feel Benny's presence suddenly, and you can feel the presence. You can feel the darkness of Benny and the lawful. Yeah, well,
Awful stupid.
the lawful stupid jerkness of something else, and there's some type of celestial, some abysmal celestial battle happening, like feels like around you guys, but not, and it's just a couple blips, you're not sure, and then we go into that through that nether, that ether, through the veil of this world to the next, and we see.
Can I call out to Ben?
You broke up super hard that entire sentence.
Bless it.
Yeah, I especially loved the call out.
Is it any better? Has it cleared up?
Yeah.
Yes.
Because like as it's fading
Yeah.
out, we just hear Alavara like, she's not even sure if this will work, but on the off chance it does, calling out to Benny Dot to not be stupid.
Just in time before she
Too
broke.
late. Too late.
Stab a god. Stab a god.
Here's my number. Call me maybe. All right. So we follow her voice.
Because that's exactly how she views his deal with death.
We're following that echoing consent from you through the void, and Benny Dot, this Archangel Rudiger Hawk, is charging at you again with this two-handed sword of flame, wielded in one hand, coming right at you, and he just winds up, to follow through.
He's gonna attempt to re-summon his sword.
Now, how's that gonna work?
I don't know.
You don't have a
The
sword.
question is, do you know Kung Fu?
Because it's a sword that is literally just summoned.
It is, but it is. This is your not good roll penalty. Well, plus a little bit of my GM. Let's see.
I see.
Yeah.
Well then, with the lack of sword, there's only one thing left, and that's fists. So he's going to hack and slash with fists.
Well, question. Isn't the hilt of your sword made from your razors?
Yeah.
Why don't you just...
I guess when it breaks apart, like, because you put your two razors together, is what you described before, and it makes your sword, right?
And then,
Mhm.
well, him putting them together, and they like fuse into the handle of the sword. So I guess with the sword breaking, he would actually still have his dual razor blades.
And technically, you still do the same damage,
So
right?
Yeah.
he's gonna hack and slash with the twin razor blades against this thing.
Give him a close shave.
I love it.
The closest I ever gave.
Throw me a hack and slash plus strength. Like I said, your damage doesn't change. You just don't have your Dark Blade powers at the moment. But you'd still deal the same damage
Which
if you
is a
hit.
shame because they're so good. It's a real shame because they are so good.
Well, why don't you roll boxcars? Maybe I'll give you your sword back. Oh,
Not quite.
You almost does.
that's a 10 plus. Okay, so, Benny, you can go ahead and deal your straight damage, or you may choose to do 1d6 damage extra, but you also get an attack from him.
I'm just gonna do my full damage, I think.
Just your regular without
Just
taking...
do the regular damage.
Yep, that's fine.
So, rolling damage. Wow! That's usual. That's
Wah, wah, wah.
This Archangel's crazy armor.
Benny is still rolling the awesome damage here. 1.
He completely misses you as you duck, and then he stands there as you come up with a razor and you hit him. I'm not sure what the part of the armor is that kind of covers the neck. As it comes up from, like, he has like full plate armor, right? And you just come up and you would
Gorget.
The Gorget, yep. Thank you. And you slice right up along this Gorget, and it just doesn't even make a scratch on this armor. And he just looks at you, he's like, "This is foolish."
A foolish barber and his wife.
One has not asked you to sacrifice your wife, who has already perished. One cannot sacrifice that which is gone.
And who allowed her to be taken?
I have allowed nothing. The god slumbers because of what had happened in the past. The fault is
Then wake
humanity's.
him the hell up. Then wake him.
He really wants to speak to its manager.
He goes, to
Eddie
wake.
Dot, the Karen.
If you wish to wake the god, you would be branded as an avatar of his. You would completely change.
Then wake him up. Then wake him.
Do you attack him again, or are you just yelling at this guy?
Yes. He attacks as he's yelling this.
All right. Hack and slash, my good friend.
Oh boy.
I mean, now watch Benny Dot is like the Alexander of this campaign. He just keeps changing classes over and over again. All right. Are you
Double fives.
Are you doing the additional damage to take some too, or are you just doing your damage?
I will actually do the extra and take some too. Why not?
Roll your damage and then roll an extra d6 after that.
Okay. Damage.
3. Okay.
Better.
And then that's definitely better than what I've been rolling.
Not bad.
And an extra 4.
Okay, so just note
And
that.
he's stuck in the hole like a big back pit.
And the vermin of the world inhabited, his moles aren't worth what a pig could spit, and it goes by the name of whatever this place is.
Now I'm gonna roll damage twice, but I'm only taking the better of the two. All right. So don't think like
Alright.
I'm that much of a monster.
Be like, oh god.
I'm only a little bit of a monster.
The damage.
As this flame sword hits you, it ignores all of your armor.
Good to
So
know.
12 damage
Good to know.
goes completely through.
Oof.
So you attack him and he slices, and you see this bluish celestial blood just burst out of his face, and he's like, "This is foolish," and he stabs this flame blade right through your chest, and it comes right out the other side, cauterizing your entire wound as you feel that your stomach is no more. And he's like, "Now you wish to change, be purified, become an avatar, or do you wish to sacrifice?" And he goes, "I can make it easy for you."
Decisions.
And while you're making that decision,
Be stupid.
and that's when we hear, "Benny, don't be stupid," as Alavara's voice echoes out of the nether somewhere. And we come back, and there's this giant spider and these plagued all around you guys.
Cecil's like, if you would please to back up, would be a nice time. It's like, as he scooches back,
I had an idea.
What?
This is so. Alavar is probably gonna do something stupid right here
Awesome. That's what we're built on.
because
I
I,
mean,
had
if
an
you
idea.
don't do something stupid, Ralph is going to do something stupid.
Well, Alavara will like throw her hand to, reach her hand out, call for Fane, and assuming he responds, she's going to dart around where Cecil is providing protection for her and get closer to this thing to touch it.
Boop the snoot.
Kind of.
So you summon
Snoot.
Fane,
Yep.
who like comes out of Cecil's coat pocket because he was inside the tavern,
Yep.
and whisks around and appears next to you. He's like, "My love," and he looks up. He's like, "Oh, that is what I felt."
She kind of hesitates just for a second because, like, this is the real Fane, and if this doesn't work, but she darts around Cecil, just kind of like, sorry, like apologizing as she passes him, and she's going to dart forward and try and touch this abomination to force Fane into it, basically. Kind of the opposite of what she does when she does her whole last rites and whatnot, the taking of souls to purify them. This is kind of the opposite of that.
So you dart
Or
past.
we can do like a vital transfer, which is technically the healing thing, but I spend a soul to heal, which
I like maybe using that ability
Mhm.
to make an ability roll. So let's do that. If that sounds fine to you, it's either that or it's going to be like a probably a defy danger with dexterity.
Is this a soul touch?
I'll give.
I would actually. I don't think there's a roll to. There's not a roll associated with vital transfer. It just happens. I think.
Put it up on the
book.
screen there.
This is what I have written. And I believe I copy and pasted that straight.
All right.
from
Well,
the
I'm going to say
book.
you need to make a roll to successfully touch him to
So,
do it.
Yeah.
So if you want to defy danger with dexterity, I would say because you're trying to dart up there and grab it without getting your face ripped off. So I feel
Yeah.
Yeah, do it.
I mean,
Yeah,
that
I
makes
can do it.
sense.
now before you roll, remember you have a +1.
I'm using that +1.
Okay, you
I
got.
have a 0 dex.
Please do. Because I'll
I
have
have
to defend
zero
you if it
dex
goes
mod.
wrong, and I won't last long.
It's getting pretty intense.
I'm not gonna watch this roll.
Well, there goes one of my hold. I'm going to go ahead and just go ahead and declare that spent.
Boxcars.
That's a crit. That's a crit.
It's a
I
crit
just
fa-
critted on that.
Crit fail.
Do I?
Hello, experience.
How do I?
I think that well, I know how
Olivara?
I would do that crit.
Olivara?
Is that the defend fails.
Olivera,
Yeah.
mark XP.
Yep, I did.
Yep.
I hope I survived to level up, because
I'm still spending the hold to defend, to redirect it to me, but
So this is what happens. It would come down to try to deal damage to you, which Cecil is redirecting on him, right?
just literally running in and shoving it
no.
aside.
Oops.
I said, get back. Right way. It's
So he
like,
pushes her aside, and like he rushes in, right? And then he'll take the damage. And then there's another thing, of course, because of the boxcars. But we'll come to this first. So
yeah, we'll bring me the pain first.
there is
Bring
one
on the
piercing, so it
pain.
does go through 1 armor, okay?
Okay. So -1 armor.
So not bad. Not bad.
So
As
how much total?
you try to touch its leg, and as you touch its leg, it rips it back out of your hand. It stings because of just the metal and all the roughness of it. And then you suddenly push aside Olivara as the mandibles come down where you were standing, and it hits you a little bit, but you managed to block most of it and absorb most of the rest of the damage, Cecil. And
All right. So
so that 4 was me, Alavara. Yes.
Cecil,
was to me.
Cecil redirected it with with the defend
Or-
action,
Wait.
Yep.
Okay.
so you don't take any damage. I'm just
Right.
describing that you touched the leg though.
Okay.
So here's the thing.
Yeah.
Here's
Yeah.
here's tough decision
Oh, please
time.
don't. Oh no.
Oh no,
Got
another
two more
tough
holds.
decision time.
This is
Oh,
for
no.
Alavar. I don't think the defend action is going to work here because you had Fane with you and you touched the leg and you feel the burning sensation. Now that
Great time for a crit fail.
this is why the crit.
Dramatic.
Oh no.
So
No.
the soul can be absorbed by the spider, but this is the end of Fane. Like you don't get to talk to him anymore. It's the end. Right? So it does get absorbed.
Uh-huh.
But you don't know if it's worked yet. It might take a moment, so the machine is still going to be going. But it worked for all intents and purposes. You got the soul in there, and we'll see what happens. Or the soul gets rejected, and Fane goes flying away. Like he's not gone. He's just out of the scene for a minute. And just the touching of the spider with that magic deals an enormous amount of damage to the monster.
Okay.
Hmm.
Stupid.
Ding.
I hate this decision.
That's great. So as you're sitting there making that decision, we come back to Benny. As we're just going to keep jumping back and forth. Oh, Jodo.
Tough decision.
Jodo, what are you doing?
What are you doing, Jodo? I don't have the stream up.
2 300-bit donations and 2 100-bit donations.
So that,
Why do you hate us?
No.
No, that's good thing.
No, wait.
Because
Hold
the
on,
2 300s are auto 10s and the 2 100s are plus 1s.
Oh, right. I forgot for some reason I thought the 300s were the GM.
So we got 2 in the bank for all 3 things. Let's
Thank
keep that
God.
in front of our head right now. That is,
Thank my better half for saying okay.
thank you, better half.
Thank you.
Thank you, better half.
Tice is gonna be like, oh yeah.
If it doesn't work out with Joe, I'm single.
No, I'm trying to keep it straight. 2 100s, 2 300s, and 3 200s because Tice gave me 3 things. Right? Okay.
Yeah,
And
so
2, 3, and 2. I just want to be like, nope, he's gone. All right, Alavara, you have a tough decision to make in just a moment. Benny, you're impaled on a flame sword.
You're impaled on a flame sword.
Speaking of Randall Thor earlier in our Wheel of Time discussion and flame swords that he made and a lot in the earlier books, you're on one of those right now.
I imagine like at the corner of your
Lovely.
vision, it's like continue.
So you can continue the battle. You could probably sacrifice your violin, or we could do something that's even crazier. And like Alexander the Hound from our Blades in the Dark game, you can of course just become a new class by the next session.
Again.
With just as many
For
levels.
the third time.
Just as many levels. Yeah, it'd be something more angelic though. It'd be something more celestial.
Less dark.
Mm-hmm.
Less dark, maybe less brooding. Who knows?
No, you can.
I don't think that's possible.
No, you can be as broody as you want. I'm not taking your broodiness away from you.
Yay! I would miss my broodiness.
So, what do you want? What do you do?
In an act of defiance.
Yes, I'm all ears.
I love that.
Doing the exact opposite of what I told him.
Benny lowers his hands, lowering the razor blades, looking at this sword impaling his body at the moment. He drops the razor blades.
Okay.
And says, I yield.
Okay. He just looks at you with a piercing blue gaze, and the flame sword winks out of existence, and you drop to your knees. Or drop to your feet, I guess, and you can slowly stand if you wish. It's up to you. Like, he still towers over you quite a bit. It's like, you yield. We speak. Your decision. Your friends are dying, and your world is right behind it.
He grabs his violin and says, you're lucky she told me not to do something stupid, and throws it to his feet.
He's like, he looks down at it, and it floats up in between you two, and he's like, this is the thing you love.
Last thing I have of hers, yes.
He's like, he actually smiles. He's like, oh shoot, what's your real name? Shoot, I always
Artemis.
Artemis. He's like, no, Artemis. He goes, Lucy is the last thing that you have that you love, or she is the last thing that you have of her. Do not give up. You will be reunited. And the violin bursts into holy flame and is gone. Somewhere, someone who's holding on to his bow that bursts into flame too. It's probably in Alavar's pocket. She's like, "What?" No, I was kidding.
A little distracted at the moment.
There's just this moment of like someone lighting a lighter on her pants and just
Alavara, your hair is on your you know what? Never mind. You have bigger problems.
Right. So the archangel's like, take your sword and your darkness, but don't forget your humanity. She would not have you lose your humanity. But the one that took Lucy when you were imprisoned, the one that took her and ultimately caused her death, is waiting in the basement of the manor house and is waiting for you. Take your humanity.
take me to the son of a bitch.
He goes, save your world, and the gods shall return. And everything just gets real white, like even brighter, right? And we come back to Alavara.
I want a rematch.
It's like, someday. Yeah, I use the angel stats from the book. They have 4 armor. It's just,
Jesus.
they're just nasty.
Well, all right then.
I just like, what's the closest thing? Oh yeah, this is actually in the book. Ah. All right, sorry, breaking the. So you come back, Alavara. What's the decision?
It works.
All right, so you touch it, and Fane's like, Alavara, and he's gone. You see like this indigo lightning crackle up the one leg that you touched. Yeah, and it just absorbs and goes through the machine. It just steps back. System error. Virus detected. 404. ID10 error. ID10 error. Or whatever.
ID10T.
ID10T. Dang it. I knew it last. ID10T. ID10T. I'm the ID10T.
Hepcac is also good.
While it's spazzing,
All your base are belonging to us.
while it's spazzing out, I'm assuming it's on ground level, considering that it just took a stab at Cecil and
It's like
Alavara.
its back half is halfway up the house, so like its front 4 legs are on the ground, and its back 4 are pierced into the house behind it. So it's like on an angle like this.
Hold your fire.
And you guys still have these plague that are just like, fleshy people, healthy. So, anyways, that.
But
Mickey.
Hold your fire.
Ralph's like, but I have a bazooka I just made.
I didn't make a bazooka this time. I was hoping to get a cool brass spider mount. Okay. Well, that is like, the like spider. And he is going to change his. He's going to change the rune on his runic weapon. He's going to erase the rune the moon, and instead he is going to put on the rune of force. Oh, that is the wrong thing. So that was a waste of an 11 somewhere. Where is?
Would you roll plus wisdom?
And he was just trying to
No,
display.
yeah, I'm just trying to display the runic weapon.
You just click something else.
So, Rune of Thunder, the one that makes it a very fun pushy stick.
Okay.
So I'm gonna spend a stock to change my rune, and then I am going to move quickly, and I'm going to attempt to put myself between the rotting people and the rest of the 2 knuckleheads I could see, so the 2 party members I can see, and I'm going to attempt to use my staff to forceful tag them away.
Ooh, that sounds
Tag, you're it.
sounds good and hack and slashy. You should do this.
Do the thing.
All right.
He did the thing.
Boost rode off.
Good thing I didn't have a defend action for you.
Go ahead and roll your damage of 5. Not bad. Let me make sure I find out where the stats are in these guys. Did I
Either way, I'm buying us breathing space.
Did I erase their hit points? Okay, maybe I did. Let's see. They are weak. So you just do like this swipe across, and you hit the 2 to the south, and now so you thunder them away, right? Like you hit them like flip, and they fly in the air. They just kind of fall apart into pieces, and the other one you kind of just nick, and it flies back because you're successful back to where the other 3 are. It hits the fountain, and it's like, no, don't. And they're like,
Leave them into the mansion. The basement is where the true enemy lies. They still live. We can possibly save them.
we just want to feel better.
That's what we're doing. Please just give us a moment. She's just kind of going to, like, dart underneath Fane and hope it's actually Fane and that he doesn't attack her when she moves to enter the mansion.
And then the spooter crashes down and squashes Elvira.
It's entirely possible at this point.
Oh,
So
Cecil's just going with for now. He's keeping his defend action going. I spent a
that's
lot on that. I'm going to keep that going.
okay.
Hey, isn't that Betty?
Penny appears on the scene now. I think just there's a ripple of just a flash of light, and suddenly Benny's there. Your sword is back. I mean, you can tell me your entrance if you'd like.
He just
Superhero
steps out,
landing. Superhero
looks
landing.
around. Those are hard on your knees.
Yes, they are.
So hard on the knees.
Are you still walking around with a giant hole in your chest too?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Actually, there is a hole in his shirt of that impalement.
Benny, you are fully healed.
Yay.
But I think the scarring and the hole remain.
Oh, definitely. Please.
Because it's cooler. Chicks dig scars, you know what I'm saying?
Chicks dig scars.
He's even got a hole in his coat from where it went completely
All the way
through.
through. Cool.
And he walks through and looks around. Did I miss anything?
Basement of the mansion.
Anybody that looks notices a slight blue aura around him, and his eyes are kind of lit with a blue background. Like there's this bluish light in the back of his pupils. It feels weird.
Where's his lordship?
Basement.
Past the giant robotic spider, I take it.
Leave it. That's Fane. Possibly.
And the spider is wigging out. It's not destroyed, but it is wigging out.
Before it
Leave it.
reorientates one way or
case-
another, let's go inside.
In that case, Benny's going inside.
All right. I think defying danger to get inside sounds pretty good for everybody.
Probably.
Yep, sounds right. I'm gonna say, let's see.
Tell me how you're doing it.
Dex,
It's
just running in.
so the thing is not attacking you, but it's wigging out. It's like smashing in the house. It's coming forth. Its legs are just chopping up and down. So to pass underneath them is kind of dangerous. Plus, you have these plague that are still trying to grab you as well. And pieces of the roof in the house are coming down because of the smiter smashing it. So it's kind of just a dangerous situation as you are looking just to get through that front door right there. And everybody can feel it. Like Benny, you couldn't maybe feel it before, but you feel the evil of this house. Like you feel the evil all around you. Olivara has already felt it. I don't really think Cecil and Ralph necessarily do. Actually, as you get into the house, everybody starts to feel a little creeped out, though, by the house. And just like, like I said, I took my inspiration from the original Evil Dead movie with Bruce Campbell. I'm just going to say that right now.
Well, I'm going to have Elvira roll hers first. Because after that, because I can't do anything else but defend right now. So if I don't defend, if I do something else, I lose the defend.
Yeah, no, give me 1 second to pull up the book and figure out how I'm going to flavor this as wisdom.
Oh my goodness. Benny,
I
Ralph?
just need to look at it.
Going to
Through mental
literally
fortitude.
pull out his sword and use his sword to chop his way through as he's running through.
Please don't. That's Fane.
You just kick. Yeah, you're just powering through. I think that sounds like defy danger with your strength.
By powering
That's
through.
good.
Yeah, you're just like slashy. That's a 7.
You stumble,
So 7.
hesitate, or flinch.
Yeah. Guess after she says no, that's Fane, he kind of like stops and like, what?
So, you can. Here's the thing: you can power through and actually smash one of these legs, cut one of these legs on the spider clean off in order to get through, and you get through. Or you hesitate because you're like, wait, what? And one of these plagued people jumps on you and starts coughing and spewing all over you.
Sure, let's do that second one because it makes more sense.
Yay, plague buddy.
So you're like, what?
He
And then
just kind of like stops and goes, wait, what?
Literally, like that leg is literally.
That's your
right on its face.
husband. That's your-
I think he traded down, girl. One of these things would have been better.
So you probably have armor to go against 2, but this plagued grabs
See.
you stop. Whatever your armor is, it doesn't have any kind of piercing. I mean, it's a weak creature.
I do have armor. I'm just trying to remember.
Right on your main page. Ready to go back to your main page there?
Ah, there it is. I completely ignored that damage.
Yep, you do.
My armor is 2.
Perfect. So you stop and hesitate. You're like, what? So you don't get inside, and this person grabs you, and they're so weak and frail, and they just cough this vile sickness into your face, and you're just like, immediately like, oh, that's nasty. And this burning pus runs down your face, and that's what would burn you, but you're like, no. You push it off, like the celestial hue around you kind of burns it off before it burns you. And it's holding on to you. It's like, please help me. So that's you.
What we're trying to do, you fool.
Ralph.
I am. He's like, yes, everybody inside. And he's just like, oh. And he is going to take his pushy staff and he's going to whack each one of his party members on the back to just launch them into the building.
All 3 of them?
All 3 of them.
That's one way to do it. Sure.
I'd like to resolve this in one roll, so let's see what happens.
God help us.
I'm going to go ahead and use one of those auto 10s that I paid for.
Just let me mark
As we
this
all
down
die
by 1.
flying through.
Roll your damage.
I should have totally not said we can resolve it in one roll. All right.
Oh.
Oh look,
All
I
right,
take
cool.
none.
Yeah, I guess the trade-off is she might
1.
tap a little bit of damage into them as you send them all into the house.
But yeah, it's just literally this dwarf is playing golf with his friends. It's just like, first Alabara, then Cecil, clang,
And
And then
the
Benny.
gone. All right. So that's 2 hold lost.
Oh, did you?
but Ralph is done with this shit.
So Alvaro, you don't take any damage then as Ralph, or as
Yep.
Cecil.
Those magic gloves that we still haven't named give me 3 armor when they're activated.
Yeah, she soaks that damage up.
So you don't lose a hold, or you defending yourself?
Well, I do, because if I'm being yeeted across a building, I'm no longer standing in defense of another person.
I mean, you can. I think you can spend that on your. No, wait,
I
that
can
doesn't make any sense.
reduce.
I'm
I
not
can
gonna.
reduce it and stuff like that, but that doesn't really.
I won't take those 2 last defense from you because it wasn't really your choice. You still fly with her. He actually he clubs you two together, and you both go hand in hand through the front door, making room as Benny follows shortly behind.
I apparently yeeted you guys to the second floor.
I feel like
he his shield kind of turns back into robe just long enough to grab her closer, so he can just kind of do that. I'm a cool guy, and I'm grabbing this person and doing a barrel roll to protect him, which he actually is the one taking all the damage, though. It doesn't look quite so cool.
I'm trying to think. I think you're in the first floor, and then there's a basement. Okay, down below.
So he literally, like, she lands on top of her a second. He just kind of like deadlifts her up. It's like, nope, sits her down.
Probably pretty hefty with that, like a gem encrusted.
Me and the boys. Knees and the
And
boys.
then there's the plague. There you go. The plague that's holding on to Benny. That's just like holding on to him, and then suddenly Benny's gone. And he's just like, huh? I feel like that. Actually, the plague would probably get
plague buddy.
The plague will get sent with him. You guys will go flying, and then you go through the window, and the plague hits the wall.
I wish.
And now,
You.
Ralph, it is just you outside, and the spider is just like going crazy, but it's like starting to fall forward. Like it's just like, and it's getting really difficult to like dodge in between its legs to get through, but you still can possibly. What do you do?
I will attempt to defy danger with dexterity. No, I'm going to defy danger by studying and trying to predict where it's going to go and push through.
Are you talking about intelligence with quick thinking?
Yes.
Okay. Defy danger with int.
I didn't even get through that. It's like, nope, dexterity is a bad idea.
Alrighty.
Oh.
Yep.
Man. If only you had some help.
So that's a
Hey, at
partial
least-
success.
I got you guys in.
So you can power through and be with the others, but you're going to take damage from the spiders that hit you. Or instead, you raise your staff at the last second and the spider hits you and it pushes you down right through the floor into the basement, which means you don't take any damage, but you're separated from your group. In the haunted house. I shouldn't
Where
say-
we know there's
Bro.
danger in the basement because Alavara has said as much.
Go in the basement.
I knew you were gonna. I knew that was gonna
I
be a
knew
choice.
it.
I even rolled a die for it. I rolled a d20 for it. I was like, yeah, it's telling me basement. Because it was literally evens or odds.
I'll put you over to the side a little bit. So you're right there, and the other three are right
Oh boy.
there.
This'll be a thing.
I hope that spider got propelled equal distance the opposite direction.
Oh, it's good. It comes down and hits you. That's probably why you didn't take any damage. You go flashing through the floor as you look up. It gets like thrown up the house, rolling, and it tries to grab on, and then it's like stumbling and falling back down and hitting onto the porch above. You guys feel the whole house rumble, but then it's like, as you guys go inside, the door shuts. Well, you guys smash through the door, but it feels like suddenly like it's very deadly quiet, and all the commotion, everything outside is suddenly gone. And it's just an eerie stillness as I change the music.
And there's a Ralph-shaped hole at the bottom.
Come on. Horror. Let's just add a couple different things. Yeah, there we go. Tice asks, what would your character do for a Scooby snack? And
Get
Benny down the
apparently
hole.
body slammed by a spider mech into the basement.
you feel not so bad there, Ralph. As you get to the bottom, you hear some movement and some voices way far off. Not your people, but it seems pretty normal here. Alvara, Cecil, and Benny.
Not a good place. This is not a good place.
Well, Alvara, I want you to roll me a D11.
I don't like that specificity.
No.
Huh.
I think actually everybody can roll one. Not
Yay.
Ralph.
The
Cecil and Benny.
11.
Cecil and Benny.
Okay.
I don't know what's better,
1d11.
high or low.
They're both bad.
Probably. It's just different
Oh, for
levels of
crying
bad.
out loud.
/R, not r/.
What was that? Sorry.
/R, not r/.
Yeah, that's.
It's close enough. I'll just say 11. I was kidding.
Well, I already rolled a 10, so
Oh,
we
wow,
got low, mid, high.
Me and Benny equal 10.
Yes. We put our numbers
okay.
together. It's 20. Oh wait, we might not want that.
And 20 plague people come up to greet you
Exactly.
in
Oh, with
butler
plague
and maid
hugs.
outfits. That's the entire serving staff.
Specifically French maid outfits.
Gross.
I don't think you want to see one of those in a French maid outfit. They're kind of rotting
would be the
despite
point.
being still alive.
That would be
You
the
just
point.
watch all the skin slough off.
Now this map is a little more decor than exact layout, maybe, but you get inside and there's this manor was not supposed to be old. I mean, it was run by the lord of the city, but it looks like it's almost ancient. Everything is broken. There's cobwebs everywhere. There's dust. There's footprints in weird directions, and then there's not. And you can see, Cecil, as you look back, that this this corruption is actually creeping outside the manor, and the plague that are out on the porch are like, what is this? No, it's not. And even though they were plagued, they weren't necessarily evil. They just, but craved your life force. Yeah. But you can see that this corruption, like by coming in, you've just let something out. Benny, you come in and you immediately see that there's a way to go, but then you start to lose it. So you need to defy danger with one of your mental stats for me.
Right. Let me check and see which one's the better.
Use
It
them
would
brain
be
meats.
wisdom, but not by much.
Olivara, you're about to turn to them to tell them how this place feels wrong or whatever, and you see that they are fading into the mist and you're losing sight of them. There's a mist in the house, and you are... Mark experience, Benny.
Uh-oh.
Yay.
Ooh, do I do
Mark
that as well?
experience.
That sounds scary.
What am I rolling?
Granted, I don't think Betty has a lot of brain meats considering he attempted to stab a god.
You're gonna defy danger with your intelligence because you're quickly trying to figure out like how to keep them together.
It can't be wisdom?
It is not. I'm sorry. I'm afraid.
Man, it's never wisdom.
Oh, man.
Benny, you've become separated from the group already. Oh.
Ooh.
Right there with you, Benny.
This is where it all goes so very wrong.
Everybody.
Full of experience.
Cecil, you turn and you watch Olivara just fade in the mist as she's looking at you. Things are bad. Ralph, everything seems to be pretty normal down in the
Plumber
basement.
is getting demoted to rat catcher when I get back to civilization.
I'll say where you are, you can see through the wall to a stairway going up. Otherwise, you can see how past to the left. You can see fresh footprints where you are. You can hear stuff down the hall, people's voices that way. But you feel there's an incredible presence down here. It's not like the haunt above. It's something different. But otherwise, the basement seems to be pretty normal.
So which way is the pressure coming from? Is it coming from this direction where the voices are, or can I tell where this pressure is coming from?
This presence? It's not the same place. You just feel it somewhere to your, we'll say up this way, the northeast.
I am going to come up to the door, and I am going to listen at the door.
I think let's, you want to discern some realities?
I would. I believe that's a wisdom check.
Yes. The party is thoroughly separated. Oh no.
Well,
Not
not,
so
not
wise.
double ones. It's a 2 and a 1.
Oh.
Not so wise.
Oh.
The dice have turned on us.
They are unhappy with.
We don't need those. We don't need those botches given to the GM. We do it themselves. We do it ourselves.
He's still got 3 GM fun times to spend.
Who made Nuffle angry?
I didn't.
we have upset RNGesus. He is not our friend anymore.
And I've lost my healers.
I didn't get the chance to heal you yet.
And I'm just imagining just a Cecil sized figure going, "I need healing."
He's like,
So I'm assuming I don't hear Jack Swat.
No, mark XP.
I did.
And something bursts out of the door. It's not. I don't know if it's really a door. It's basically.
As far as I can tell, this right here is a door.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah, those are doors.
You are forced to back up to this basement area here where the stairs are, as the door bursts open, and out comes someone dressed in like livery, servant's livery, probably of this house. They don't seem like the plagued outside, but they're just screaming. They're just like, ah, ah, and blood's like pouring from their eyes, and they're spewing blood at you. They're just like, we're down. The lady, the what's it called? I forgot her name. Yeah, break the mood, Lucas. I had her. Oh yeah, nope. My notes are all over the place. Oh, there she is. Okay, she goes, the risen, she is here, and he just like coughs up blood and falls dead at your feet, and you're just like, you're backing up. It's like, don't touch me, and
I'm already sick.
That's right, you are. I forgot about that. And then you're in the room at the basement, and you hear, like, whatever your companions might have said in the moment. What Alvara's probably saying something like, something like "stay together" or whatever, but that fades in like a deep fog. And you're alone in the basement, and you can feel the creepiness of the haunt coming down the stairs where you were separated from the haunt. It seems to be spreading. So you don't take any damage, but I think it's a thorough freak out as someone that was actually still living and surviving down here came out and bleeding from the eyes, spewing about someone called the Risen, and dies at your feet.
Well, shit.
There's that good old Gregory line, just in a little faster speed. Well,
shit.
I missed that. Anyway, I'll pause for a second and we'll go up to Benny. So priorities probably are regrouping and not dying, methinks.
True that. There is an open door in front of me. Yeah.
I just put your random spot, but we'll say wherever you are at. Yes, you're kind of in this big room that overlooks like the basement below.
Yeah. I know the Lord is down there. I want him so badly.
Yeah, I mean the basement's right there.
You challenged a god to single combat. What's a demon lord?
It's not a demon lord because we know it's undead.
I don't.
That is true. He hasn't been told that.
Potato, tomato.
I just know that Lord Roland is here, and I want him so dead.
Oh yeah, you have other reasons to want him
I'm
dead.
actually going to make I'm going to actually make a wisdom roll.
Wait, first of all, I'm not sure
decide
why
what
you
I'm
don't.
gonna do.
Why do you not like Lord Roland? What did I miss?
You told him that the
He's
god being that he was the being in the basement was
That he was the Lord. The thing that was in the basement was what killed Lucy, basically.
It says in the. I should remind you. Maybe you missed it, but it said she took Lucy, and ultimately, which led to Lucy's death.
Well, either way,
That's fine.
Still in the basement.
What are you thinking about a wisdom roll? Before you make the roll?
I'm gonna make a wisdom roll, and if I
I see.
pass, get 10 plus. He's gonna try and regroup with the party.
Gotcha.
If he fails, he's going to the basement and looking for the she.
All right, go ahead and roll. This is a no experience roll. If you fail or anything, it's no.
Yep.
Rip.
He's going for the she. He's going.
Rip.
He's going for the she. So he goes down into the basement. YOLO.
Basement buddies.
To the barbarian Diablo 2 jump.
So down you go.
I am here, demon.
Down you go.
That has been a long time since I've played that game.
As soon as you hit the floor of the basement, you can feel the presence. Your celestial eyes kick in, and you can feel that it's alerted to your presence as well.
There was a barber and his wife, and she was beautiful.
I think you're.
And he literally starts singing that as he starts walking down the hall.
Alrighty. I'm going to come back to the description of this in just a moment. And let's go to Cecil or Alavara.
Please be smarter than me.
Well, Alavara is going to try and find Benny Dot.
Success. He's wherever it's
No one cares about
idea.
Cecil.
I'm
no one cares
sorry.
about Cecil.
Do you remember the bond she has with Benny Dot? Oh no, wait, I changed that one, right? I updated it. It still makes sense for her to seek him out because he doesn't think through the consequences of his actions.
Okay.
Which is definitely going to be resolved this session because he has proven it right now.
So, go ahead and how you trying to find Benny?
Mostly just trying to pierce through what I assume is a fog that is magical in nature because, duh. So just trying to, I don't, I mean, it so obviously is, but just trying to, like, pierce through that magic. So like, she knows magic, she does magic, this seems like a similar type of darker magic. So
defy danger.
Wisdom?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You feel like you're stepping and you feel like things cracking under your toes. And as you look down, you feel that it's a swarm of beetles that you're walking on. And every time you step, you're crushing more beetles. And they begin to crawl up your legs. And it begins to freak you out. Maybe.
Of course they're carrion beetles.
Yeah.
What else would it be?
Yeah.
I don't want to watch this roll.
Ooh. You did
Thank
very
you.
well. And you're like, no,
It's a 10.
not real. It's a haunt. And they kind of fade from existence. The fog fades. And you find yourself, I would say, in the center room here, looking down, and you see something horrible. And its attention is to the east, where you know Benny is. But you see something down through the floor, floating there. And it's making its way over, obviously, to where Benny is.
Yep.
Cecil.
That is I.
You are lost. You look up and you see all the mounted heads of different trophies from the hunt. Mountain lion, stag, bear. And they all, as you look up, suddenly turn their heads and they all look down at you. And all their eyes go from, dark black eyes or whatever they have. They're just solid white. And it's horrifying. And they just all begin to smile, these more human-like smiles with impossible animal faces. What do you do?
Starts chuckling.
They start chuckling as the madness.
It's good to see that there's evil still in the world. That's subtle.
Make your sanity roll now. Make a sanity check. It kind of would. It kind of will be, but no.
Different system.
I know, but it still applies. And the animals start chuckling, and you start chuckling, and then they're just roaring with laughter, like ah.
I'm just rolling straight up, like one of my stats.
Well, yeah, I'm just asking what you do. I'm not saying you have to make a sanity check, but you can. I mean, maybe that's the thing you should do is like roll plus wisdom to push through mentally.
Nope.
Can I hear the laughter from my hole down below him?
Yeah, you are just below. You hear. Go ahead and mark XP. You hear Cecil burst into maniacal laughter, and you don't hear any other laughter, Ralph, yourself. But Cecil, you hear all these animal heads are laughing at you, and then suddenly they all look at you and they just projectile vomit blood. From like
Who the hell's laughing?
From 8 different mounted heads, you get hit with this geyser of blood in all different directions. It just pours on you, pushes you back towards the edge of that hole. And you fall down it.
Do I see blood coming down?
Yes, because...
Or is it just a Cecil?
Nope, it's the corruption is eking down. It's connected to Cecil, maybe. And Cecil and a waterfall of blood pour onto the floor where you are at. Cecil, just because something has to happen, besides your insanity, you take 3 points of damage minus your armor, of course, so not much. And Cecil and this waterfall of blood just collects around the room. It's just pouring, and it hits the ground. He hits the ground in a wet, sickly thump. Yep. And we'll come back to you in just a moment. Alvar, I'm going to bring you down to this other screen so we can just keep it in one spot, but you were technically above, right? As part of the blue
and
dot.
I was going to say, upon like seeing this thing and she knows its attention is on Benny Dot, well, she would try and gain its attention.
All right.
By calling out to it.
All right.
And
I'm sure that's what you want to do.
Yep.
So Benny, you kind of know. Let me give a description first. So you see this ghostly kind of figure. It's half salad, it's half ghost. It's got no legs. It kind of comes down into a wispy ghost body, but the top half is armored. Definitely feminine in form, with the sword in one hand. And her eyes are just like glowing like this, just darkening red, right? And it's just kind of this reddish aura around her. And you can sense something familiar as she approaches you. I'll put her right about here, but she's just kind of doing that slow kind of drifting. Oh yeah, she has a sword in one hand and a mace in the other. And
interesting.
She is a character class, kind of. She is the Wraith Knight. Actually, I'm not sure if that's not a character class, but it is a monster. She is the Wraith Knight, but you instantly know that you can feel that connection of death, and as the realization hits, she says it out loud. She's like, "Yes, Artemis, I was the original Dark Knight. But since my master has taken my life, I have become the Risen. I am the Wraith Knight. I have been waiting for you."
You boss music.
Yep.
Some dogs need to be put down twice.
And so this is when she's floating at you, towards you, and Alavara.
Yes.
Your move, or what are you?
Yes. Let me see. We have a couple. Hold on. Give me half a second to check my stock of soul, because this takes a soul. I'm pretty sure my soul wasn't spent, just my spells.
If Fane was one of your souls, that is spent.
He was not counted in those. I just counted the 3 personal, 3 in the skull. I didn't spend any soul last time. I still have full soul. Thank you. Okay. So, does anybody mind if I take the last auto 10 hit? 10 plus?
Go for it.
Okay. Because this is not my best roll. It's a charisma-based roll.
So you're going to have 2 +1s in the bank? And...
Yeah, we have 2 +1s.
All right.
And
Don't
no
forget,
autos.
you also have a +1.
I already spent that one.
Okay.
I think Cecil and Ralph both have a +1 each.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. I still have mine.
Okay.
Okay. So she will call out to it.
Ooh.
Which is 10 plus, so I get to choose 3.
You rolled an 8.
Yes, but
Yeah,
I took
but
that 10
he-
plus. I just was.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Duh.
I was taking that 10 plus. I just needed it posted. So she calls out to it, to A, gain its attention, B, as she points at it, gestures at it, whatnot, a burst of violet energy, the soul she's expending to do this, bursts from her fingers and strikes at it as she orders it to return from whence you came. And let's see, we're gonna deal damage to it.
So what do you say? Do you say anything when you rebuke it, or do you just use magic?
It's the general sense of what she says is, you're not welcome here. Return from whence you came. As this energy strikes it, her, them, I don't care. Dealing energy, which dealing damage, which please roll well. Son of a... It ignores armor though.
Okay.
And the soul kind of, instead of dissipating when it hits her, it kind of hits like dead center of the chest or back, because I think she was facing Benny, but and then forms chains that kind of just sort of wrap around her, limiting her supernatural abilities.
So you're dealing damage, limiting limiting supernatural abilities, and what's the third thing?
We're gonna take 2 questions from the Discern Realities list.
Oh, lovely.
I love the Discern Realities.
She hits and she stops for a minute and looks at you with eyes that are so dark and evil. It really probably scares you more than any other dead you've faced so far. But ask me the questions, and I'll tell no lies.
Give me half a second.
Got big old pupils and
that
bloodshot eyes. Sorry, I wasn't.
I mean, she might be. This might be more rattling than she's ever faced, but she doesn't outwardly flinch.
Okay.
Let's go for... I could probably guess that one. Let's go for what here is not what it appears to be.
Oh, gosh. How do I answer this?
Truthfully, hopefully.
She is...
True that.
I mean, she, like you hear her talking, she was originally what Benny is now. But now she's a Wraith. A Wraith Knight. And, what is it?
What here is not what it appears to be.
Well, it's hard to answer with a specific person sometimes. What here is not what it appears to be. It appears that she is hell-bent on evil, but you sense that there's a soul in there just dying to be released from its imprisonment.
All right.
Her soul, to be specific. Other question?
Oh, right, I did have a second one. Let's take the general, what should I be on the lookout for? I feel like that one could be useful.
What should she be on the lookout for? You can be on the lookout for the fact that she could summon the spider back to her because she is in control of it.
Yeah.
And if she has some of her, so you've burdened up, you limited her supernatural abilities. She has a bunch. She has 6 supernatural abilities, and they're not all gone. You've subdued them.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say you subdued half of them. So why don't you pick 3 numbers, 1 through 6?
1, 3, and 6.
Okay, so those are the ones that are. Oh. You've reduced her ability to inflict pain beyond measure. You've reduced her ability to seize with an iron grip. And you've stopped her ability to use death mask to resemble somebody. But she has the other 3. So they're like, man, if those are bad, what are the other 3? I'm not telling you.
Yeah.
So you see these supernatural violet chains around her, Benny, and she looks up at Elvira, and you know instantly that this is in life her name is Lady Koebel, and she is known as the Risen because she has been murdered and back to life. And you feel as though she worked for the Overlord, possibly for Tim McLeod, or what was now Tim McLeod now. It's all connecting, it's all coming together. And she looks at you as you sense this, and she turns back to Benny, and she's like, as honorable one knight to another, I was hoping to have a duel with no outside interference. And she looks down at the chains.
And that's why I'm here.
But she goes, but if you wish to be craven, let us commence, and I will defeat you with the proverbial one hand tied behind my back. So she's taunting you. And
Clearly.
Meanwhile, in the room with not the oopy spooky people tied to death and destruction, like Ralph is just kind of poking Cecil a little bit. Is like, you still alive?
Technically.
Don't look so good, buddy. As
He reaches
then
in
he
his
coughs and
pocket.
hacks.
He reaches down to his side and pulls out his house, and he like hands it up to you. You hold on to that for me?
Sure. Here, hold on. And he digs around. He's gonna pull out a healing potion. Tread ya.
Awesome.
I think that's
Please take my potion of healing and fix yourself a bit.
I think that's a straight 10.
That's 10.
Yeah, it's either straight 8. I think it's 10. It's a full 10. Yeah, HP. There's no rolling for them. If I'm wrong, then too bad. You're taking 10 hit points anyway.
That puts me at 12 HP out of 18.
Ooh, you were close. So
If I didn't have my armor, I would have been squished
Ouch.
already.
the blood is pouring, still pouring from the top. Now Ralph is beginning to hear the laughter from above, and the blood is filling the room and starting to pour into the other rooms. And it seems like it's actually filling up the room just a little bit, like as Cecil has to get up on his feet or he's going to drown in it.
Yeah, he gets up slowly. Yeah. He's literally like, he like leans to the side so it's pouring on his shoulder only, drinks the potion, and it's just like, this is not the weirdest thing I've seen yet today. How are you doing? And where is the he puts the
Then I
shield up for a
imagine
second.
we hear monologuing coming from beyond the wall because there's a big ass hole over here.
I'm going to need you to hold on to that house. And his robes flow back into armor, and he starts walking towards that door.
All right. Undead monstrosity? Or just another corrupted thingy mabobber?
That's the difference anymore.
Ralph shrugs. It's like, so.
Yep,
And
we're gonna
he's like,
Kool-Aid man through that door if I have to.
so. It's like, he's like, okay. Ralph is going to start crafting enchantment. I'm going to make another holy hand grenade, guys. Because that's what I do anymore is holy hand grenades.
Holy hand grenade of Antioch. You can start crafting in a minute. Benny, what do you do? Now she's basically saying, I want to fight you one-on-one with no interference. Obviously, it's up to you what you do.
After I've interfered.
She's like, for Lucy, obviously. Okay.
It's a success.
Partial.
Technically a
It's a
success.
partial success.
It's a partial success.
Blood rage.
I will duel you. Name a second. She will be mine.
Okay.
Oh, you're gonna force a GM summoning.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh no, it's gonna be the spider. Oh no.
that's not. I mean, I'll go ahead and use one of my GM yum yums to
No.
make it happen.
Making it rain.
God damn it, Benny Dot.
What part of don't do
Pardon my
anything
French.
stupid?
He if he had failed, he would have went, okay, one-on-one fight, Alavar, do not interfere.
Too late.
But no, he's
Too late! She's not undoing what she's already done.
Ah,
he's
that took
saying,
an auto plus 10.
he's saying Alavar is now my second. He's now saying, okay, Alavar is now my second. Name you one.
Oh god.
And I'll just go ahead and use that for story plot to make it happen as the spider comes down in a huge ball and stands up. But
leave the spider, she said. Deny Ralph the Tinker time to maybe disable it.
But it's Fane.
Maybe.
It has his
Maybe.
soul. It is Fane.
You're
I could have had a
I'm
cool
far more emotional
spider.
about this than she is.
couldn't have picked a better setup. Like you're both facing off from someone from your past, kind of, right?
Could have had a
No.
cool spider mount, but no. Shove a soul into it. Ruined perfectly good robotics.
So she charges. She's like, very well done. She snaps her fingers. The spider comes through 3 floors of matter, smashes, stands up, looks a little confused, wobbly for a second, sees Alavara, goes back into precision, like honing, like in on her, and the wraith flies suddenly right towards you.
I
Benny.
buggered that up.
You called a second, and she's like, that'll work. And she goes,
And not being stupid did not have a time limit.
she's like, Lucy screamed under my blade, and now you will do the same. And she comes at you. What do you guys do? Because we are.
Glad I don't have to sustain this thing.
Ooh, you know what?
This is a perfect spot to end it at. Where
Can I at least
Oh,
can I do
no.
my crafting to see if I get a hand grenade here just for next time?
Seriously. Time
it's
limit.
that time.
We got a little late start. That's all we got, guys. Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna use the +1 I got from my recap.
rolling bones.
So we have what? 12. So
Ooh,
Nice.
nice.
what do we have left? We have 2 GMs.
2 GMs, 2 +1s.
All right.
And they're at the bottom of my notes, so they'll be there for next time.
All right.
All right.
I craft enchantment. I craft another holy hand grenade. So it does not have any weird limitations, and it does not have any known side effects.
And it doesn't have to worry
Thing are
about.
not known.
And it doesn't have to be a worry about being permanent because it's gonna blow up. So
Because just like all of the other stuff that Ralph has been making, it explodes.
So, is everybody? I think so. Cecil has a +1 to use.
Mm-hmm.
Benny, you need to remember that you have a celestial glow about you, just in case I don't.
I'll put it in my notes.
Okay.
Actually, I did put it in my notes when he showed up. I put it in my notes as Benny reappears with some kind of holy light ?
Okay. Let's remember that for next time.
Yeah.
One holy hand grenade of undead buggery.
And
like that.
we see like Cecil and Ralph Kool-Aid manning into the room where the spider is. Elvira is up in the next floor looking down at the spider, which when it stands erect is just about tall enough to look at her, almost look at her in the eyes, maybe just slightly lower. And then the wraith named Lady Koebel the Risen, who was responsible for Lucy's death, the wife of Benny, is charging Benny, and he's ready to do business. And that's an important battle that we are going to see 2 weeks from now, as we will conclude this dungeon here. And whew, I thought we'd get a little further, but at the same time, it was worth not rushing, because I don't know about you guys, but
I think that the theme
This
for
was
this
a great episode.
the theme for this episode was stab the god, stab the god.
But I didn't get to stab a god.
Angels and wraiths and mechanical spiders, oh my. Oh, well, dang. My voice is about gone as it is after GMing for 2 hours or more. That was a good time. We'll be back in 2 weeks to see the conclusion of this battle. As we have other shows going on right now, Friday will be, as I can tell everybody right now, are you still here? Friday will be our season 2 finale of Robotech. It's going to happen. It might be a slightly longer episode to make sure we get everything in with our RM that wants to run, or is going to run it. That's Mike. Not Mike. He doesn't have a name. Haruka Junko. Sorry, Mike. Haruka. Anyways, and then we'll be back.
Dig a hole.
Next week, we'll be back Tuesday for Alien RPG. Cecil can tell us a little about that. Soundwaves. Dan. No, dang it, not again. And then next week, Thursday, we'll be, of course, back to Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition with 3 of the 4 people here. And that's been a really good game. And that combat is far from over, as I realized that I had some other enemies a couple rooms over that...
No! I'm half dead!
Yeah, I rolled some perception checks to myself, and I realized, they would have... You guys were not quiet, you were battling, and they definitely heard you, so I'm like, yeah, I got even more enemies to bring in. It's like hell of a battle. You need to come back next week, Thursday, to see the conclusion of that as we play the Sun and the Citadel.
Watch me die and plan a new character.
Possibly, if everything goes right. So, thank you for the donations tonight, Tice the Betrayer and Jodo1025, and thank you for the subscription, Jodo1025. I'll just pass it right to you, and we'll do some shoutros, and you guys can pass it to who you want. But that's all for me. Upcoming, when this game ends, we're going to be filling the slot probably with some Call of Cthulhu 7th edition, and I'm going to hopefully get some people to run some one-shots. I'm going to run some one-shots, and we're just going to switch some cast members around and just get some different people to play and try out the system. Yeah, I'm sure we'll see Jeff back here for that. He might even have a specific little short one that he wants to run. I bet you have 500 different scenarios you could run. And then for the Thursday replacement for Robotech being done on Friday. We're no longer going to do Friday games. We're going to do Thursdays and Tuesdays only. So the Thursday replacement will be Band of Blades, Forged in the Dark game. Right there, Dan's looking at it. I have my 5 members. We have cast out to the command staff, and we are actually making some progress. We just haven't gotten together with our newest person yet. We'll meet them soon. And I'm going to be quiet now, and I'm going to pass it to Jodo again.
Okay.
And throw it out, sir.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Lucas. Folks, Jodo1025 here. Big thank you to Lucas for having me on the channel. I'm kind of the local channel hobo at the moment because with the current things running, I am in just about everything right now. I am in everything right now. So that's surprising. That will probably not be the case forever. So just because I will have other projects coming up. So we will see. I'm pretty sure Lucas is ready to see someone else's ugly mug in my slot. So, but yeah, so like Lucas said, you can catch us next Tuesday for Aliens RPG, where I am playing PFC Dante. So the fun person who has overstepped your bounds a little bit. We'll see what will fall out of that. And then on the Thursday Dungeons & Dragons game, I'm Richter. I remembered this time. So Richter Mercal, the halfling bard rogue. So what I'm affectionately calling the court bard. So we will see how that comes because yeah, everything is awful there. And then this Friday, hopefully for the finale. So for the finale, which I imagine is going to be awesome, of Robotech, will be Ivan Suranova, the crazy Russian artilleryman, and we will see how he helped stand against the weird, weird giant purple people. I've already forgotten. um, but yeah, when I'm not here on Lucas's channel, you can catch me over on my channel, twitch.tv/Jodo1025, where I do also stream RPG content. Theoretically, so depending on cast availability, I'm waiting to hear back from somebody. We should have a Titan Summer Run session tomorrow. A Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition adventure as part of our Extra Life charity drive, which that is going very well. And then we unfortunately could not do last Saturday's Blades in the Dark Knights of Mischief game due to health concerns. Yeah, just a lot of folks not feeling great. So it was like, yep, we'll hold it off. It's just, so we'll be back not this weekend, but the weekend after, bringing you more of that fun stuff. But I am also happy to announce that I have settled on what I am doing for November, which for folks who know me is Extra Life Charity Month, including the International Day of Play on November 7th. On my channel, starting at about 8 a.m. on November 7th, so that's Saturday, November 7th, 8 a.m. Mountain Standard Time, I will start playing through the Banner Saga trilogy for what I'm calling Norse November. So, and my hope is to also get a cast together for a Norse themed Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition adventure series for the month of November. So, more to come on that as soon as I start hearing back from some people. But if you are interested and you're on Lucas's server, give me a ping. So, because even if you're new to Dungeons and Dragons, I will show you the way. So, anyway, I have yammered, but I think it's time to pass the stick to someone else. Eeny, meeny, miny, sound.
Oh, okay. Sunwaves Ghost. I play here on Tuesdays and in the future Thursdays, but for now, my Thursday is taken up over at AP Gaming Reels channel on his finale, big huge fight for Robotech, the BattleTech, Time of Total War, and that one I was playing Paul Colors, the Lamb pilot who got shot down. So last session I took over a fellow player's mech because they were out doing wedding preparation. And this coming week, if they're back, I will be piloting some other mech that's not my character that was basically created by me, just something to fill in until the new show starts on Band of Blades on Thursdays. On Friday, I get to don this cap for one last time for an entire game show and be the Captain Paul Colors for that show as the commander and captain of the SDF-1. See, other Tuesday, I run Alien RPG, Destroyer of Worlds, where the sassy crew of I picked are having fun getting notes and stuff like that set up for them for next time. And hopefully they'll get to see some of the big bad guys earlier than they expected because they're doing so good.
What? We're not ready for
that. I'm so proud of them. They're making me so happy.
We're not ready for that.
And next month, I think, I'm not sure what the timeline on that is, but I'll be on AP Gaming's Real channel on Sundays. But that's a recorded game, not a stream game. For a guest star on that for a bit. So we'll see how that goes. I pass down to Benny.
Hello, everybody. I'm Jeff Beck. I play as Benny Dot here on this wonderful Dungeon World campaign. And I also play as Tristan Guildcrest on the Thursday night Dungeons and Dragons game, both run by the wonderful Lucas. And I have to say thank you very much, my fellow cast members, for letting me steal the spotlight for a little while on this particular show. I don't really have very many social media outlets other than smule.com, where I do some voice acting and singing. If you want to go ahead and check me out there, it is smule.com/JeffBeck1108, all lowercase, and you'll find me there. That's pretty much it. I will hand it over to Ava.
Hello, everyone. I am Ava Rogers. As I think we're probably well aware by now, I play Alavara, the Reaper, here on every other... What day of the week is it? Tuesday. On every other Thursday, I play Calcaria, the monk who just multiclassed into Barbarian and is probably going to get killed next week. That's all I'm at.
My better half came up with a good term for it.
What's that?
A bonk.
That's a good one. That is a good one. I like it. Other than that, you can catch me on Twitter at @ThatNerdyWriter. I will be more active on there this month and especially the next for NaNoWriMo. You can follow along my progress as I work on a third draft of it'll probably be 100,000 words, but for November, the goal is to write 50,000 words. So only half of my long-term goal there. You can find more about that book and what I'm writing over on my Twitter as I get it off the ground again. It's been kind of stagnant recently. Or you can catch me on the Discord, the Neon Anarchy server, where is a living community for Shadowrun 5th edition. 5.5 really. We have like a 60-page house rules document, but please don't let that scare you off. Join us. Really helpful. Always accepting newcomers, and it's a lot of fun. And I'll have some other things, but that probably won't even go live until after I'm finished with this stream. So if I'm still around, you'll hear about some other projects that I'm in as well. That's me.
Thank you. And we're doing a little backwards because I forgot, but we're going to quickly do XP. First of all, thank you everybody for the wonderful shoutros and being a part of it. I appreciate you having your time being here with me and giving me the mic. So let's get you some XP. Everybody got some XP from failed rolls, or whoever did has already marked those.
Yep.
We'll knock these out real quick and then we'll go. Well, I'll go to bed and you guys do what you want. So, did anyone resolve a bond?
Yes.
Tell me about it.
I think I mentioned it when it happened or sometime there shortly, but the bond with Benny is that he doesn't think through the consequences of his actions. And he's kind of proven and almost disproven that, because earlier he listened when she said don't do anything stupid, but then we got into this haunt and he immediately he doesn't think through, and he's kind of proven that, and now I need to come up with a new bond, probably something to do with protecting him from himself.
Benny, do you agree with this?
I agree.
All right, Mark XP. Anybody else?
And I need to come up with a new one for Cecil because we resolved that one last time, and I still don't have a new one.
All right.
I feel like I resolved one bond with Alavara. I feel like this one that I've had, which is that Alavara, she knows my old man is a creature of evil mechanics. What do is no longer applicable because it's just kind of now everyone kind of knows. And then on top of that, Ralph is a little bit more annoyed with Alavara. What
did I do?
Just a lot of don't hurt them. Oh, don't touch the spider. Just get
okay, that's fair.
So I feel like the bond has evolved into Alavara. She likes barking orders, and she kept me from having a cool mech spider.
That is my.
So far.
It's Fane.
So far, yeah. Okay.
And now I'm fighting him.
It's like it always meant to be. It's gonna be really gruesome.
No.
It's gonna be really gruesome. Um,
I'm gonna go with 1-2.
okay.
Actually, I have 2, so it doesn't really matter which one I pick first. But Ralph's is changing as resolved. He is still useful, but instead of likely to blow himself up, he blew me up a little bit. And if he had done more than 2 damage in that, or 3 damage in that roll, he would have killed me. So his is gone, and a danger to those who aren't prepared for his chaos.
Hey, I fixed you at least. I gave you a healing potion.
This is
I
true.
gave you a
Prepared for your
bandage.
I healed you.
I had armor.
But
And Alavaris is changing from is very useful and deserves a reserve room until she can be convinced to join my tavern or my harem, to being Alavara is very dedicated to her path. Steer, protect, or stay out of her way.
So you resolve 2 bonds. You can mark XP for 1, but it's okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
It's okay. The story's evolving as long as
Yeah,
everybody.
Benny's. He doesn't know what's going on with Benny. He doesn't really care.
You and
He's still a useful meat shield.
Benny and Cecil have been kind of at odds from the beginning, so it's the relation.
I mean, Ralph hasn't really given a rat's ass about Penny hardly at all ever since the one time where I gave him back his violin.
You guys
He still needs to resolve that bond.
Well, do you have a bond?
That's okay because Alavara cares about Benny.
Has Benny resolved a bond?
Not really.
That's fine. It's fine if you haven't.
He really hasn't.
That's fine.
That sucks, but he hasn't.
Well, I mean, it just
has a new one formed?
Yeah, if you have one that you feel is no longer relevant, or it's been fully explored, or otherwise, like it doesn't have to be like I've done this certain thing. It's like this just doesn't apply anymore. Or it doesn't make sense, or I want it to go away so I can do a new one. That's all. That is fine. It's fair.
He has perhaps made a new bond, but it's from a shift in his Death Knight background.
Okay.
Lay it on us.
That's something that, well, quite frankly, he, especially after this fight with the Archangel, his focus is not so much on Lucy anymore.
Well,
there's one person who's actually managing to talk sense in him and keep him on the right path somewhat.
Yay!
And then he completely
that makes me happy.
And then he completely ignores it.
He did not completely ignore it. He put it into consideration.
He's trying, okay?
Instead of putting himself in danger, he put them both in danger, so they're working together to die.
It does show how much he cares.
In not the manner of which he thought was going to happen, because seconds usually wait.
Yeah, it's normally a tag
be
in,
there
tag
to
out
assist
situation.
when asked.
Oh, I didn't even know that. I just said she's just like, okay.
It's a fair way to kind of twist.
I mean, she is a villain, so.
She is a villain, so it's like, oh, seconds? Okay, fine. These two fight too. Oh, bugger.
Yeah, that was great.
That's not
that
what
was
I meant.
perfect.
Now, Benny, even if you didn't resolve your other bond with Alavara, you can have more than one bond with a person. So I think you should write that in.
I would say that actually resolves the one that he had.
Okay.
What was that one?
She knows my pact with death was foolish. I must reassure her that I'm staying on this path for the right reasons.
Oh. Okay.
That's kind of fallen away. It's kind of like, I'm
not a dark
I'm not
knight
really
anymore.
doing this.
All right.
If they both survive, we gotta have a heart-to-heart next time. It's gotta happen after this fight.
So I will say that one has resolved.
All right, everybody's resolved a bond. Everybody's marked XP. Replace that one, Benny, and I will move on to alignment. If alignment was fulfilled at least once.
Nope.
You can read it out loud, and we can.
Defile, corrupt
Make
something
a
and invert its
bloodbath
nature.
of my foes.
Nope.
Okay, I don't feel like you or Benny has done that. I think Benny's is next time. Ralph or Olivera?
Mine
Discover.
is. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Don't call me.
Jinx.
Go ahead.
Discover something about a magical mystery. Like the only real thing of discovery I made was that analyzed Wemmer about how the spooter kind of works, but
I don't know if that's so much magic as well.
I mean it's Arcanotech,
Yeah.
which is close.
Yep. I mean, you technically made rolls and put yourself in danger to find it out. So, I would say yes on that. I mean, it's your choice actually to say yes or no. Olivera?
Mine is to carry out a spirit's last request.
I don't know if it's Fane's last request to be put back into his face.
I really feel like that wasn't it.
I'm pretty sure they didn't have. I'm not sure that they would have had a dream of. I always wanted to be a spider.
Now,
Yeah.
Controlled by somebody else.
out of character, since you felt a soul is chained inside this Wraith Knight, taken.
Oh, I'm going for that. I'm so utilizing that somehow next time, or trying to.
Yep, that
I'll
might.
try to.
Yep. So just a
Yeah.
hint. All right, three.
No. So my thoughts with that, just full disclosure, is I'm going to attempt last rites.
Oh boy, it's gonna get messy.
Probably with sacrificial dagger through the chest. You know.
I feel like it's with this battle coming up, it's time for everybody to have a secondary character in mind because I feel like there could be some last
I've had
breath
one built
rolls.
this whole time.
Okay.
I feel like well, I'll come up with something. I mean, they're really easy to build. I just need an idea. I'll look
I might
through
even
my-
make spare character sheets for you to have access to in case you wish to build one in just for the, and you can make it the same level that you currently are at with the same amount of experience. So anyways, let me ask you these three questions, then we're done. Did we learn something new and important about the world? And so what is it?
There's a sleeping god.
Yeah, there's
Yeah,
that.
sleeping
God
god.
Yep.
The whole
It has
risen
something to
thing.
do with the existence.
Yeah.
I
And
mean, I guess
haunted
the
house.
risen kind of the risen kind of pales in comparison to that whole god thing.
But you okay. So,
And that and haunted, apparently haunted houses. Ha ha ha! Spent a fortune on blood budget.
I mean, we figured that out. We figured that out last. Oh,
I was making a joke.
yeah.
So
Okay.
I feel like we
It
discovered
was bad.
discovered
You
a
should feel
couple things.
bad. But yeah, I think
Yeah.
we
I'd
definitely
laugh
filled
about
that.
that. I'd laugh about that, but I don't want blood spewing out of my mouth.
Ugh.
all right. So everyone XP for that one. Did we overcome a notable monster enemy?
I would have said yes if we
Until
hadn't
you brought
decided
the
to
spider
second
back
and bring
in.
it back.
Yeah.
Not really overcome now.
Okay, that'll be coming up next time. And then did we loot a memorable treasure? I also think that'll be next time.
Yeah. No treasures this time.
Isn't the real treasure the friends we've betrayed along the way?
Oh, just
Oh, sorry, Overlord speaking. Cecil. Isn't the real treasure that we saved Olivera for suicide or whatever she's doing now?
Sacrificial death.
I am very grateful. I didn't get a chance to heal you, but I promise I'm very grateful.
All right, so that's at least a bond XP and that XP. So, and plus what you guys
If we
have.
survive, I get to level up next time.
Very good.
I also get the level up if we live long enough.
I hope I do.
If we live long enough.
So,
Let's see. I'm level 3 and I got 12 XP. So...
Yeah, you only need 10 to level up to 4. From where you're at.
Okay.
Because it's 7 plus current level.
so there we go.
Okay.
I am at 14 experience and level 4.
16, level 4.
This
Oh,
is
good. It's gonna get so
just
good.
gotta
We're at level
survive.
6.
We just have to survive long enough.
And we will find out next time. But we are going to take
Call
this.
it a night.
Call it a night. And I thank everybody who was here. Thank you for my players. Thanks for staying a little extra. Thank you for the audience who was here. Thank you for the donations and the subscriptions. Thank you for following. We will see you guys next time. You all have a good night. God bless and good gaming. Have a wonderful evening, and we'll see you in 2 weeks. All right. Peace.